Hello there, you guys, and welcome. You have tuned in to Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Kim, as well as Facebook Live. Listen, today is a beautiful day. It's the first Sunday in March, the first week. The weather is great, and we have truly been fortunate to have the weather that we have been experiencing here in the Chicagoland area. It's totally just out of character for Illinois, but at the same time, it is. But understand and listen, it is what it is, and this is what we do as people. We just take each day as we get it. Hopefully you dress accordingly and you keep it moving, and that's really going to lead me to my thought today. It's going to be a short show. It's going to be really just kind of right to the heart of the matter with a word that the Lord dropped in my heart to this week that I wanted to share with somebody today. And I'm hoping, my thought and hope is that, one, somebody's probably needing to hear this, and then two, that it actually just blesses you, that it blesses you to know what you need to do or what you should do concerning your situation. So again, I thank you for tuning in, and I thank you for giving me this moment. It's not even going to be a long one to share this thought with you today. So listen. There's an expiration date on everything. I don't care what it is that you have. All things are going to eventually expire. You can leave milk in a refrigerator. You can have it in the best of circumstances, the proper temperature. But eventually that milk that has an expiration date on it is going to expire. And when we think of circumstances and situations and things that we may face by way of our challenges in our life and in our circumstances, they all do eventually expire. Even when it doesn't feel like it's going to. Sometimes you feel like, I've been in it forever and I've been in it for so long. When is it going to change, or when is it going to be my turn? When am I going to be next to get married? When am I going to be next to have children? And so often we run through all of those, when is it going to be my turn? And we don't appreciate the process. And the process is what gets us to the next level. The process is what prepares us for the blessings that God has for us. It's in the process that we are made. It's in the fire. It's in the struggle. It's in the weight that we have to carry at times that makes the difference in our lives. And it makes the difference in our situations. It truly is dependent upon how we handle that circumstance and situation. So this week, I was reminded of a situation, and you all know I like to give you a scripture so that there's a basis for what I'm talking about. But in the book of Job, it's 42:16. The Bible is clear, and you all, I love God's word, and I believe his word. And it says this, it says that after this, Job lived. And it goes on to say how long Job lived for. But it's in the after this that Job lived. Well, what is the this? Because all of us have the this, and I'm saying the this that we are dealing with. We have our own issues, and we have our own struggles, and we have our own circumstances, and we have our own situations, and we have our own challenges. But it's after this that Job lived. So I want you to understand that whatever it is that you're going through now, whatever that you're going through on yesterday, you may even go through some things tomorrow. After that, you will live. You will not die. It's not going to kill you. You understand? You may feel like you're going to die. Lose a relationship. Let a relationship fall apart. I guarantee you'll be like one of my girlfriends that wore pink gym shoes for 2 weeks. Didn't want to change the gym shoes, just wore pink gym shoes for 2 weeks. You'll feel like you want to die, but it's something on the inside of you that knows that all things come to an end. And even with the relationship maybe coming to an end, the job coming to an end, whatever it is that you may find yourself losing, it was bound to expire, because nothing lasts forever. But you yourself can still live. You yourself can still go past that situation. You yourself can go past this. We understand, and just to kind of give you a history, Job lost everything. He lost his kids, he lost his money, he lost his income, he lost his way of getting income. And absolutely, valleys are only temporary, because valleys lead, the valleys lead us to the top. It leads us to the pinnacle. So he lost everything. And even his wife, who was supposed to be his backbone, his support system, she was supposed to be the one to encourage him and to motivate him. She herself said, curse your God and die. Right? She didn't even want to support him while he was in his this. But even his friends turned his back on him. But it was something about Job that kept him faithful, because he was faithful and uprighteous in the beginning. And so often we see people's character and we see their integrity when they get in a situation. Do they stand? Do they trust God? Do they believe what he said? Having done all to stand, stand? Or do they buckle? Do they fold? Do you find yourself giving up and throwing up your hands and saying, you know what, I can't do this, I'm out of here? Or as some people like to do, well, you hurt me and I'm gonna hurt you, and you lied on me, so now I gotta go make this right, and I gotta go defend myself. God is not calling for you to defend yourself. God is not calling for you to try to get right, or make things square away with people. What he's calling for you to do is understand the process of your this, because this situation that you're in is temporary, and you are going to live after it, because there is an after this. There's an after this. And if you stay engaged in the process, if you stay engaged in your situation, if you stay engaged with seeing God, right? Don't look to your left or to your right, but look to the hills from which cometh your help. If you just stay in the process of trusting and believing God and trusting God, you will get back those things that you think that you're losing. You will get back those things that you think that you've lost. And God is not going to take anything away from you without giving you something greater and something better. He just won't do that. He will replace that minimum wage paying job with a high quality paying job. God can take that 3-bedroom home and give you a 5-bedroom home. God can take that $20,000 car and give you a $50,000 car. God is always going to multiply. He's always going to look to add more to what he's taking or removing from you. We understand that the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, but Christ comes that we may have life, and that we may have life more abundantly. My bishop was talking about this today with regards to an abundant life. It's not always in the materialistic things, because guess what? If I lose my money, if I lose my job, I'm still rich. If I lose all of my friends, I'm still blessed. If I can't go out to the restaurants and eat, every night, I'm still blessed. I'm still who God says that I am, because you are who God has called you to be. But you have to recognize that just because a situation has occurred and that you've lost some things, that situation is over. When you lose it, it was just this time to be expired anyway. When you lose it, it was just that person's time to go. When you lose it, it was just that time for that situation to be brought to an end. Listen, I'm going to take myself a really quick break. I will be right back. You have tuned in to Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com, via iHeartRadio, as well as Facebook Live. I'm your host, Kim, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, welcome back. Once again, you have tuned in to Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio as well as Facebook Live. I am your host, Kim, and I am just, I'm here and I'm excited to be here because I want to encourage somebody today that's tuning in. I want you to know that it's over, and it's whatever it is, it's over, but you're not finished. God is not done with you yet. And you may feel as though it's over for you. You may think that you don't have the right education, you don't have the right background, you don't have, you're too old. Sometimes, especially us as women, if we don't have a husband by the age of 35, we feel like we're over the hill. If we don't have children by the age of 40, we feel like we've gotten too old. And I want you to understand, is there anything too hard for God? Is there anything that God cannot do? We can choose to believe what the doctors may say. We can choose to believe what statistics may say. But we have to understand that God has the last word. And when something is over, those things are stopped, to help you, first of all, know that everybody can't go with you in the first place. Some baggage you just can't take with you. You're not nobody's bag lady. So some baggages you can't even take with you. But if you stay in the process and understand that it's over, but you're not, I want you to know that you can go get your confidence back. You can go get your swagger back. You go get your hair done, not did. Go get yourself fixed up. Go buy yourself a new outfit. We walk around here and we're dead on the inside, and we put on a facade as though everything is well. But even those clothes of death, people can see it. People know when you're not happy. People know when you're fake, and those that really know you know. So I want to encourage you to even take off those clothes of death and stop mourning. Don't mourn those things that are gone. Let it go. Oh, my bishop said that this morning. Let it go. When will you stop crying over spilled milk? When will you stop crying over people that walked away from you because they wanted to? When will you stop crying over, oh, well, I used to have? We can't speak all the time in the past tense. It's great to go down memory lane and have those conversations with your nieces and your nephews, to encourage them and talk about how things used to be when we were at grandmama's house. But if all you're doing is talking about how things used to be, you are not living. You are just existing. And you're caught up in something that's over. We're talking about, it was 1976 when you had that Lincoln, and that's all you're talking about, and you haven't owned a new car since. You are not living. You are just existing. It is over. It is finished, but you are not. Encourage yourself today to know that if I change my attitude, I just may change my life. If I change how I look at a situation, then I may just change my mind, because you have to understand it, but it begins in your mind first. It's going to be all inside of you with what you have as a person, what you have as a believer, to know what you can do for you to get yourself to the next level. So again, talking to the friend, right? Because I've said a lot. Talking to the friend, they've been in a situation for a very long time, a very long time. And while they believe that it's come to an end, they're not quite sure. And they're at a standstill and they're stuck. And you as people, you have to decide, if I've been in this situation for too long, at what point do I decide that I'm tired of just existing and I want to live? When it's over, it's over. Let it go, because your life does not have to end. They call that arrested development. When something happens in your life and you literally stay stuck in that moment. You have so many grown men and women that act like children. That's a state of arrested development. They don't want to make decisions as adults. They don't want to operate and function like an adult. They don't do things. They don't handle life like adults. They are in they're in a stage of arrested development. Listen, don't be in arrested development. Don't be in that state. And if you're in that state, get out of it. Get out of it fast. Do what you need to do to get yourself together. Shake yourself off. We're in the third month of this year, and so many of us are already behind the 8 ball. How is that even possible? It's just the first quarter, and we're behind the 8 ball because we refuse to let go of things that we need to let go of. We want to carry everybody else's baggage. Woman, that man's issue is not your issue. Man, that woman's issue is not your issue. And you may have lost a lot of things along the way. And you may have friends that have turned their backs on you. You may have friends that have rejected you. You may have people that have talked about you. But their issue is not your issue. When they move on and they say it's over, then let it go. Cut the tide. Cut it loose, because it's dead weight. And dead weight will drag you down. You're not over. You're not finished. God is not done with you. He's not through with you. He has better for you. He has greater for you. You're not the same person you were a year ago. You're not even the same person you were yesterday. Hopefully, you've changed and you've made some choices and decisions that's going to put you in a better position. And that's a position to win, not to lose. Who gets up in the morning and says, I want to fail? Who gets up in the morning and says that this is not a great day? If you get up and you say anything but this is a great day, thank you, God, then you need to lay back down until you get your mind ready to say this is a good day. Who gets up ready to just die? Oh, taking life for granted. Stop it. Understand this. I'm going to take myself another quick break, and then I'm going to come back, and this is going to be the end of the show, you guys. I said this is our winter hours. I'm really trying to do something differently here, but I want you to understand the situation. It's over. Declare it's over. The struggle is over. I am not finished. The situation is. We'll be right back. This is Sisters Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio as well as Facebook Live. I'll be right back. Thank you. All right, you guys, welcome, 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 welcome. Once again, you have tuned in to Sisters Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio. I am your host, Kim, and I'm hoping that you love this style that my daughter had me do today. I want to give my hair a break, absolutely, channeling my inner woman. I don't know what it is, but nevertheless, I think it's kind of cute. Listen, I really hope and pray that you heard me today with this thought. Again, Job 42:16 says, after this, Job lived. You will live. You can make it through this situation. You can make it through this storm. Last week's show was about staying in the fire. And understand something, staying in the fire is nothing more than your test. But after the test, it's what you're going to do with what's left. What are you going to do with the pieces that you are now left with? You know, it's like that they say, if life throws you lemons, make lemonade. To quote my daughter, Shatara Parker, what she says is life throws you lemons, surprise everybody and make orange juice. Leave people wondering, how did she do this? And guess what? I'm going to tell you how you can do it. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. It's not of your strength that you can survive the storm, but it's trusting in God, because it's in my weaknesses He made perfect. So believe that God is the one that's designed. He's designed. He's that kind of God to help us to bear through the storm. He's there to help us to see that we are not finished, and that He can order our steps. He can order our steps with His word, and we can live the best life. We don't have to die to have the best life that God has for us. We can have the best life that God has for us now, but we can't allow the situation to dictate how we are to act and how we are to respond. When it's over, it's over. It's just that simple. Yeah, give yourself an opportunity to mourn. But after you mourn, and please don't stay there all your life, after you mourn, get yourself up, dust yourself off, and live, because you are declared a living, breathing human being. You are declared righteousness to God, and you can have the best life living that God has for you. But you have to believe that. You have to receive it, not just believe it, but receive it. And I hope and pray that you do. Listen, we're coming back next week. Again, this is Sister's Heart, where we stream live on IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio, as well as Facebook Live. I thank you for tuning in. I really hope that something was said that is going to help you. It is over. Declare it. Speak it. It is over. Whatever it is that's been holding you back, it's over. Whatever it is that's been causing you sleepless nights, it is over. Whatever it is that's been causing you anxiety, it is over. Whatever it is that has been keeping you from hearing God, it is over. And you are not finished. The situation is, it has an expiration date. It has expired, but you are not finished. You will live and not die and declare the works of God. That's his word, you all. I am your host, Kim. I love you. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Again, this is IntellectualRadio.com via iHeartRadio. Please support us. There's a wonderful woman who comes on before me. Her show is He Said, She Said. Some really, really life-altering topics, make you think. So you can tune in to her before me. Her name is Wanda. And then the show thereafter me, Laughing Out Loud with Nikki. I love you again. Thank you for your support. And I will see you same time, same place next week. I'm your host, Kim, and God bless you. Take care.